Live from Fargo and serving you on TV, online, and on the go. This is Valley News Live at 6.
Fargo school leaders have given the go-ahead for students to return to school, but using different approaches. The new normal starting in the fall calls for hybrid learning.
Valley News Team's Callie Hubbard is here in studio to explain what the plan is and what Moorhead is working on at this point. Callie?
Mike, Andrea, the parents I spoke with say they're still confused when they read the upcoming plan online, but say things may start to clear up once the school year starts. Other parents say they're worried that once their kids get used to the hybrid schedule, they may have to change the plan if case numbers go up. According to the Fargo Smart Restart Plan, elementary, middle, and high school will start their year with level 3 hybrid instruction. Schools will be open for all K-5 students. Elementary students will be at school in person 2 to 3 days per week and do unscheduled online activities for 2 to 3 days per week. K-5 schools will also enforce social distancing and capacity will be restricted to 50% for students and staff. In September, the secondary school campuses will only allow 1/3 or 1/2 of the building's student population. A parent and teacher at Carl Ben Eielson Middle School I spoke with say he works with New American students. He says teaching them can be difficult, but he's gotten better at it. Although he has the luxury of having his mother-in-law at home to teach his 9 and 13-year-olds, he knows many other parents don't.
One of my fellow teachers said to me, I was hoping not to have to choose between my family and my job, and hybrid education is kind of making me choose between my family and my job.
More details on the Fargo plan are expected September 2nd. Over in Moorhead, the district also has been hard at work putting together plans after Governor Tim Walz released re-entry guidance for schools. Today, they were able to get feedback from parents as they shared their in-person, distance, and hybrid learning models. They say they will have their full plan August 8th. Andrea, Mike?
All right, Callie, thank you. Fargo Public Schools is also working with parents who want to enroll their children in online learning, even though registration for the virtual academy has ended. You can find more information on our website, valleynewslive.com.
Tip of the hat to the Valley News Live First Alert Storm Team. They were busy this weekend, but we're on the mark when it came to our stormy weather. Let's see what Hutch has in store for tonight's Weather Planner. Hutch?
Mike, thanks so much. Yeah, a wild weekend of weather, and it was capped off on a Sunday where we had tornado warnings from the Canadian border to the South Dakota border. This one in the Oriska area, Tara, and so many of you sending in pictures and videos to help us keep those in the path of the storms ahead and informed of what was coming their way. Tonight, I'm happy to inform you, quiet, 75 to 80 across the region, and your planner for Fargo shows mostly sunny skies. A few high clouds are possible in the overnight, but all in all, things will be very quiet and cooling fairly quickly. Maybe a night to give the air conditioner a little bit of a break and crack the window open for some fresh air. No storm threat as well in Grand Forks, beautiful weather there. Stormy weather will return. I'll have details, Mike, on First Alert weather days for Thursday and for Friday coming up here in just a few moments.
Can't seem to shake them.
No, it's been a busy summer.
All right, thanks. Searchers recovered the body of a Moorhead man from Minnesota Lake today. Family members identified him as 24-year-old Abdi Majid Osman. They say he was kayaking Saturday when it flipped. He did not resurface. Valley News Team's crime and safety reporter Bailey Hurley was the only reporter on scene today when rescuers recovered the body. She joined us from Detroit Lakes with more. Bailey?
Yeah, Mike, I'm just across the street from the Lakeside Tavern and just about 200 yards out from the shore here. That's exactly where rescuers clustered together around 1:15 this afternoon once they found Abdi Majid's body this afternoon. At that exact same time, a deputy with the Becker County Sheriff's Department came up to the family and friends who have basically camped out here the last 3 days in hopes of a happy ending. But it was at that moment, I didn't hear what the deputy said, but at that moment it was instant screams and cries of disbelief and devastation as they told me they thought that they were going to get better news. They were prepared for the worst, but hearing those words was just, they said it was a hard pill to swallow. Now, of course, they do want to thank the Detroit Lakes community for all of that they got to stay here for free. They got food and water the entire 3 days that they were out here, and they wanted to thank all the agencies that worked so hard to bring their friend and family member home. Reporting live in Detroit Lakes, Bailey Hurley, Valley News Live.
All right, thanks so much, Bailey.
Newly released video is giving us an inside look on how a prank at a Grand Forks dealership led to a fireball explosion, causing an injury. An ex-employee was sentenced to prison time and ordered to pay his former job thousands of dollars in damages. Valley News Team's Joshua Pagero shows us the video of that explosion.
Grand Forks emergency responders showed up to the Lithia Ford Lincoln dealership after Joby Linsky lit a fire inside the garage.
That exploded, dude.
I know.
That was crazy.
I ran this way and
He was an employee at the time working on vehicles. You can see Linsky on May of 2019 walking to the middle of the garage with a lighter in hand. He puts it to the ground where there's gas and it quickly turns into large flames, burning him and trapping 2 employees.
honestly,
Joke on somebody?
joke. That's all I can say. I obviously did not intend to do what happened.
Right.
A trapped employee managed to run out while on fire, and then behind him another employee also in flames. One of them was taken to the hospital with burns.
2 guys were dumping out, or they removed a gas tank from from a vehicle back here, that one that's laying on the ground.
Okay.
They're letting it drain, which is not probably proper protocol.
Linsky was charged with endangerment by fire and sentenced last week to a year in prison, with all but 3 months of his sentence suspended.
His thing is that he was playing a joke because he didn't think that it would light up, but it lit up like, on a Christmas tree. So
This incident caused the Lithia dealership thousands of dollars in damages. Linsky was ordered to pay the dealership $15,000 in restitution, and the man who was hurt nearly $600. In Grand Forks, Joshua Pagero, Valley News Live.
We reached out to the Lithia dealership for comment, but haven't heard back yet. Joby Linsky will have to serve 3 months out of his 1-year sentence, according to the Grand Forks County State's Attorney's Office.
No one was hurt in a fire at a business in downtown Mahnomen. It happened about 3:15 this morning at the home and fashion store that's located south 100 block of Main Street. Investigators still haven't identified a cause for that fire.
Fire crews think an explosion may be to blame for a fire that destroyed a garage. The Richland County Sheriff's Department says it happened before midnight on Sunday at a home on the south side of Fairmont, North Dakota. No injuries were reported, and the incident is under investigation. New tonight at 6, a Fargo man was sentenced to 3 years in prison for allegedly setting his mother's house on fire. The fire killed multiple animals that were trapped inside. Court documents state Tate Smith Nerline was arrested in October 2019. No one was hurt in the fire. Smith Nerline will get credit for already serving 285 days.
Murder charges have been filed surrounding a man's death in Fargo. 25-year-old Larry Evans Jr. is charged with murder and terrorizing. Meanwhile, 31-year-old Jonathan Hunt is charged with accomplice to murder and terrorizing. The charges are related to the death of 18-year-old Cameron Camacho. Investigators say last Tuesday there was a fight at a South Fargo residence, apparently over the price of marijuana. They say both Hunt and Evans hit Camacho with a baseball bat multiple times. Authorities have recovered Evans' car. He's, however, still on the loose.
Authorities are now saying medical examiners found meth in the body of a 3-year-old girl they say was abused by a man from Red Lake, Minnesota. 29-year-old Edward Dwayne Fairbanks is facing 4 charges related to the June 8th incident. According to court documents, the 3-year-old showed up at Mahnomen Health Center with head trauma and several burn marks. Investigators say Fairbanks told authorities several different stories on how the child received those injuries. They say the stories didn't add up. Fairbanks was arrested last week. The child was life-flighted to Fargo for emergency care. There's no word yet on her current condition.
A 20-year-old man and 2 others are facing criminal charges after the May 30th riot in downtown Fargo. Nikolai Kevin Westrom is facing 6 different charges after court documents say he damaged a dumpster in the middle of First Avenue North. Surveillance video shows him throwing rocks at officers. Also facing charges are 22-year-old Zachariah Michael Vernon Koss and 23-year-old Vayamunju Claude. J.L. Beers reported over $18,000 in damages from that riot.
A 30-year-old man is dead after a motorcycle crash in Otter Tail County. It happened around 2:45 this morning along County Highway 34, just west of Perham. Authorities say Douglas Hudson was going down the highway when he ran off the road. Hudson was wearing a helmet. Authorities say they are going to determine if alcohol was a factor in the crash. Later on Valley News Live at 6, we have the updated numbers of COVID-19 cases in our region, and state officials are launching a campaign to get people to wear masks.
Comfortable and the humidity is out of here. Beautiful weather as we went through our Monday. We do have more beautiful weather in store for us. We're above average for this time of the month. More rain and thunder in the forecast. Details next.